39-yard line.
I thought he was going to be stopped at the 40. He must have carried about 3 wash-high tacklers with him for about an extra 6 yards. Nice run, 1st and 10.
11 yards on that one for Johnny Horwat.
Here's Horwat. Through the line here. I thought he was going to get stopped. 1, 2, 3. Wash-high. He gains, what, extra 5 yards with 3 wash-high defenders on him.
Same formation, same play. More yardage for Horwat. Still going. The pile moves forward, and Horwat's underneath it somewhere. Inside the 20 to the 16.
Must be those batteries, Bob. They keep on ticking here. 2 nice running plays in a row, and I'm sure we're going to see the replay on this one. Hope I didn't open my big mouth.
Too late.
There we go.
You're saved. 24 yards on 2 carries for Horwat.
There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Same formation again. This time, Wash High says, seen it, been there, burned by it. Not this time.
Not this time. But it worked. It's worked.
You know, on that first one, Matt Pega went through that hole, and he was looking for somebody to block. Number 40, on the very first time they ran that formation, there was nobody for him to block. He just kind of like stopped when he got through there, and then Horwat ran up his back. And then this next time you saw Pega burst through there, and he was in the clear. Horwat having a good game.
10 rushes, 46 yards. And they're on the 15 of Wash High, driving to tie this game.
2nd down, 9. 7-0 Washington here in the 2nd quarter. 3:53 left in the half. Play action. Horwat rolls, throws back over the middle. It's picked off by Kenny Carl at the 3. Billy Ream tackles him at the 5. Big play by Kenny Carl.
Well, the ball was intended for Ream, and Carl stepped in front of him, and it's a quarterback throwing to the quarterback.
This is the 3rd time Burrell has had a chance to score.
Horwat's going to be looking for 21 Ream, but Carl steps in front of him. Boom. I got it.
Well, I'll tell you, it is hard to throw over the middle late and get away with it. Does that count as a cliche? Don't throw over the middle late?
Let me write that. I think we've used 2 cliches this afternoon.
That's 2.
I'm told by the producer and director if we use more than 3 cliches, we're out of here.
We're out of here? 1st down, 10. Eugene Woods over the 5. Cuts it back up to the 10. 2nd down, 5. For Burrell now, they can get disheartening. There's only so much you can go back and say, we've got confidence, we know we can move the football. You keep moving it, getting chances, and coming up with 0. Sooner or later, it gets hard out there not to look up at the sky and say, what's going on?
And again, we're talking about the magician who can also do it on defense. And, you know, as a DB, he's one of the best in the WPIAL, and came up with the big play, came up with the INT. Next thing you know, he's guiding the offense.
Under 3 minutes left in this half. Low-scoring game, although the offenses have moved the football. Carl, handoff to the deep back. Over the 15. Watch out. Gatton leaps over the 20-yard line up near the 25. And a 1st down for Aaron Gatton.
Tell you what, Aaron just looked like he was. Here's number 26, Aaron Gatton.
Watch Gatton at the end of this like he's in the steeplechase.
Yeah. Well, I think I'll go left then, and I go right. Yeah, I'm going to cut through there. Try and stop me.
Kurdick, nice hustle from his defensive line position to make that stop. Kurdick, Coach Anderson said, he's just fire all the way. Kid never gives up. Hand off to Gatton, right side. Splits between a tackler and a pursuer at the 24 and squirts up ahead near the 27. Mark him back to the 26. 2:13 left in the half now.
Jason Gregg making the stop for Burrell. 2nd down and 8. Gatton on the afternoon, Bob. 6 carries, 53 yards.
Tough for a guy like Gatton to get big stats because Washington High School won so many of their games in blowouts. He spent a lot of the second half of football games on the bench.
Kind of a scary thought, isn't it?
Something, isn't it? Carl, quarterback keeper. Tough sled. Kurdick. Kurdick, if there is anybody out there that is upset, he's the man.
Was that a bear hug? Or was he saying, Kenny, you're not going anywhere on this play, pal?
That was a spike, is what that was. Timeout. Clock stop with 1:36. Timeout, Burrell. Watch Kurdick finish this one up.
I'm sure he's saying to Kenny, no, not on this play.
The struggle right up in there in the middle. All right, there's a timeout on the football field. 1:36 left in the half. Wash High leads this one 7-0. Back in a moment on Prime Sports.
direct from the factory to your home. That's how Vinyl Windows has been doing it for over 18 years. Vinyl measures, manufactures, installs, and warrants, eliminating the confusion of the middleman and saving you time and money. After a visit to Vinyl, I was so impressed that we had these beautiful windows installed in our home. It's the best investment we ever made. Right now, Vinyl is offering free installation of your new windows. Call 795-7790 for more information.
He wouldn't throw, would he, on third down? What do you think?
You tell me Montecalvo has a lot of confidence in Carl.
He sure does.
Throwing formation.
Well, they played safe.
Molinaro in motion to the far side of the field. Carl will throw. Carl over the middle. The pass is batted around, and is it caught? Where's Jack Fleming when you need him? Is that a catch or a trap? Either way, it's fourth down and not enough for a first down.
Well, he did throw on third down.
Hey, they almost got burned, too. Kibler came in with some pressure.
Oh. A little bit risky there.
Toss was behind Gatton, and then the ball is anybody's when it's out there like that.
And Horwath of Burrell was close to that football. Minute 26, still a lot of time for the Buccaneers.
Coming up later on here on Prime Sports, the AAA championship game, Bell Vernon and Franklin Regional, the Cinderella story of the AAA postseason. Quad A, it's Penn Hills against the annual host of the Quad A championship game, Upper St. Clair. That'll be tape delayed and aired after the Penguins, because the Penguins are on tonight, so that'll be tape delayed. You'll see that game, I believe, after the Penguin game, and then again tomorrow at 1 o'clock, if I understand that correctly. But Upper St. Clair, 7 appearances in 8 years.
They don't like these finals, do they? Jim Render is just unbelievable. Just unbelievable. So,
good thing about that is you figure out the ins and outs on how to get in and out of Three Rivers Stadium if you keep coming back every year. And that's not easy. Fourth down, Molinaro to punt. Hasn't gotten off a real good one yet today. This one will bounce in front of Hornak, and Seth will eventually decide to get out of the way of it. And with the roll, this will be a beauty.
Nice bounce for Wash High.
Mine was the 28. The wind is still blowing that puppy down to the 25 and the 24. There's a 48-yard punt. Got about 20 of that on the roll. So Burrell now with a minute 9. If any school out there has the designed offense to run a 2-minute drill, it would be somebody who runs a run and shoot, and that would be Burrell. They've not gotten Seth Hornak into the game much offensively, though.
No, they haven't. Let's see if Kevin can recover from the last time that he had an opportunity to touch the football. He threw an interception deep in Wash High territory. So let's see what the experienced QB can do for the Buccaneers on this drive.
2 receivers either side, and the super back. Horwath, straight drop, looking upfield, throws one into the bench, and incomplete. He was looking for Nicastro. I don't know if Nicastro was supposed to break back to that football or not. Even had he'd have had to have been Will Chamberlain to catch that, though.
On that particular pass, I think the water boy was the intended receiver. Here we go.
Well, he didn't catch it either.
Let me throw it out of bounds here. There's the water boy.
Hey, just
the water boy's brother. Okay.
And he didn't catch it.
He didn't catch it.
No. He was just throwing that one away. As you can see on the replay, receiver wasn't open. That stops the clock with 47 seconds left in the half. Second down 10. Same formation. Quick hitter up the middle. Fumble. Horwath fumbles the ball. It's loose. Wash High has got it. On the recovery.
Looks like Michael Bordley, 24. Yeah, Michael Bordley with the football. Wash High has the football. Good field position for Kenny Carl and company. 40 seconds. It's a lot of time.
Wash High takes the timeout. They've got 40 seconds to work with. 7-0 lead. And boy, here's a momentum switcher right here, Bill. If Wash High takes this one into the end zone just before the half, gigantic momentum changer. Burrell can hold them here and not give up any points, then they're still down by just 1 score.
Yeah, if you're Tom Henderson, the coach of the Buccaneers, you don't want Wash High to score here. You don't want your kids going into the locker room at halftime thinking about the second half down 14-0 to a solid, experienced, playoff experienced football team.
Hey, other than Canavan, no one's bottled up this Washington offense.
Well, that was a baseball game they played.
Yeah, 6-2.
6-2. I think Gatton hit a grand slam home run in the bottom of the 8th.
He won it. 4 runs.
I don't know if he's a good baseball player. Let's see. He was state champ as a wrestler. He's a pretty good track guy. Not a bad football player. I guess he can do it all.
The Gatton story, you bring that up. He was the 189-pound state wrestling champion. About 2 months later, he won the 100 and the 200-meter dashes in the state. and he's a Division I football player and a good student, model citizen. I formation. Carl to throw, pressure's on. He breaks one tackle. He'll look to run upfield now and probably try to get out of bounds. As he crosses the 35, he milks it to the 30. Be very close to a first down. Kurtic and Ream pursuing him down there. They finally get rid of him at the 30-yard line, and breathing down on his back was Johnny Horwat for a sack, but he missed him.
Yeah, he missed him at about the 45, 50-yard line, and Carl once again getting out of trouble, making a bad thing look good, as he has done all year, guiding this Wash High offense, and he still has a lot of time, 29 seconds, and speaking of 29, they're on the Buccaneer 29.
A brilliant segue. Way up there on the segue list.
Thank you, Bob.
I formation, 2 receivers to the far side for Carl. The lefty pumps, drifts back, buying more time, pressure's on, gets out of one tackle, throws one upfield. Was it trapped or caught?
Referee
it was
said.
trapped. Justin Gatton, the tight end, almost made a great catch at the 17-yard line. But Carl, what did he buy himself, about 10 seconds back there?
I think about 9 seconds.
Clock it. That's, well, you can't really tell. It's not real speed. I'll count slow. 1001.
There, he's out of trouble. He says, what do I do with this? Let's see. I'll look to my right. I'll run a little bit. There's somebody in the open.
Justin Shantz looked like he had about enough of them. I don't know. Is that a catch or not? There. What?
Let's see.
Come back. Now, hit the turf.
Looks like it hit the ground.
Turf. They're booing, but it's a good call.
Unofficial.
It's a good call. 2 receivers out of the pattern for Carl, who will not escape this one. 12 seconds, 11, and 10, and Carl would have had to have been excused this one. You knew it had to come eventually. Houdini.
I think 6
get out of that
Buccaneers tackled him on that play.
Timeouts for Washington. You knew that the Houdini thing had to come up.
Yeah.
You call a guy a magician. Hey, the Little Prexies. You say to yourself, what is the name of Little Prexies? But it comes essentially from the presidents.
The presidents.
Let's tell you who the fine sponsors of this production are today. Some of our good friends for this WPIAL Championship football game. Waynesburg College, where well, we're on the wrong one. That's A. I'm sorry. we're doing a different one. Which one? Joe, put one up. I'll read whatever you put up. Thank you. Waynesburg College, where opportunities begin. Rollerblade and Rupp's Hockey Supply, 2 locations in Pittsburgh, south in Mount Lebanon and north, across from the Ross Park Mall. By Instant Replay Video Productions for all your video needs, and by Powerade, the official sports drink of the WPIAL. Powerade Thirst Quencher. And if they're sponsoring this, Bill, you'd think they could have at least brought us a couple samples.
Yeah, that's true. Let's see. Maybe there's some behind us. Or maybe there's some else.
Nope.
Halftime. I understand halftime. We'll have some Powerade.
All right, Carl to throw. Pressure's on. He's hit again from the backside and dropped. Joey Kurtic came in. Boy, that kid is everything his coach said he was. Joey Kurtic, just a house of fire. And a fumble on the play as well.
Carl's not exactly getting up very quickly here. Slow and getting up. Okay, Carl's going to get crunched here. Crunch time by Kurtic. Boom. Carl says, oh. And he's not going to get up for a few seconds, so hopefully he's okay.
He'll have the half to get treatment because it has ended. It is halftime here at Three River Stadium. The WPIAL AA Championship game right now is being led by the Washington Little Prexies 7-0.
There are no medals for being the shoulder to cry on. No songs of praise for keeping traditions alive. But to the men who give their best every day, we offer our best. Gillette Sensor XL. Spring-mounted blades and microfins to set up your beard. And Gillette Series shaving gel for incredible smoothness. Sensor XL, the world's best shave. And sometimes that's its own reward. Gillette, the best a man can get.
In the last 3 years, over 100 appliance and electronic stores have closed their doors. At the same time, one store has grown to become America's largest, with the top name brands, nationwide service, and 100 years of trust. Brand Central at Sears, where you get the brands you want at the store you trust.
There are no medals for being the shoulder to cry on. No songs of praise for keeping traditions alive. But to the men who give their best every day, we offer our best. Gillette Sensor XL. Spring-mounted blades and microfins to set up your beard. And Gillette Series shaving gel for incredible smoothness. Sensor XL, the world's best shave. And sometimes that's its own reward. Gillette, the best a man can get.
Tired of hearing the same old song? Then how about a future that sounds too good to be true? A career in culinary arts. If you're tuning into the rest of your life, the International Culinary Academy can turn up the volume. We'll help you prepare for an exciting, promising future in the fast-growing culinary field. So discover the sweet taste of success. Call the International Culinary Academy today at 1-800-447-8324. That's 1-800-447-8324.
Well, right now, the difference in this game is a Kenny Carl touchdown run. That's got Washington up 7-0. But Burrell has had their chances, Bill, and as you look at the stats, I think that they will bear that statement out.
Yeah, it's pretty close. First downs, 8 for Washington, 6 for the Buccaneers. Rushing yards, 110-65 for the Buccaneers. Gatton got about 30 of those with one run. Passing yards, how about this? 56 for the Buccaneers, only 1, Bob, for Wash High. Total yards, 111 to 121. Here's the big key figure, big key stat. Turnovers, the Buccaneers 2, Wash High 1. And let me add another stat to this one, okay? Ken Carl, the Wash High quarterback, first half sacked 5 times.
Give that Burrell team some credit. They're getting after him. They're going right at it, too. Well, we've got something very entertaining for you coming up next. You don't usually see many field goals in high school football unless you were watching Peters Township this season. Bob Millspaw broke the record for career field goals previously held by former pit kicker Mark Brasco of Jeanette High School. Here's the story from the Foodland High School Sports Show.
You know, we've seen a lot of football records broken over the past several years, but last week there was a record broken that a whole lot of folks may not even have noticed. That's because the guy who broke it only gets on the field a couple of times a game. Here's our Foodland High School Sports Show reporter Jake Ploger with Peters Township's Bobby Millspaw, the newest member of the WPIAL record books.
Thanks, Paul. You know, a lot of people think it's difficult to kick an oblong ball through a couple of poles 30 yards away. I don't think so. I'll show you how easy it is. Ooh, let's let Bob show us how easy that is. Bob Millspaw is a good kicker, but even he didn't know just how good until recently when the senior place kicker from Peters Township was informed that he was just 2 kicks away from breaking the WPIAL and state field goal records.
Coach stopped me in the hall and said something, and we both were shocked, and we had no idea I was even close or there was a record. Ended up there was, and I broke it.
Bob notched 2 field goals against McGuffey last week, the second of which went for 35 yards to break the record, giving him 26 three-pointers in just 37 tries on his career. Funny thing is, the record-breaking game is probably not as memorable for Bob as last year's performance versus Thomas Jefferson. In that game, Bob connected on 5 field goals, including 2 career-long 42-yarders, intercepted a pass from his free safety position, and made good on all 3 extra point attempts, earning him USA Today High School Player of the Week honors.
I played good that game. I just, you know, I was kicking the ball well, and luckily Coach put me in. He had confidence, and I put him through.
A converted soccer player, Bob caught the attention of Peters head coach Gary Cathell at a very young age.
We don't typically bring freshmen up unless we feel that they're going to help. And I saw him kick in the middle school, and we were going to lose him to the soccer program. So I talked with him, brought him up, took a look at him, and you know, you can see how the ball jumps off of his foot.
While Bob used to play on both offense and defense, in addition to handling all the kicking duties, this year the coaches convinced him to play only free safety, a move made to keep Bob's legs fresh for potential game-winning kicks. With 1 record under his belt, Bob has a shot now at trying to break the state longest field goal record of 55 yards.
I try not to think about, you know, I just try to go out there and concentrate on the block and then kick it.
Realistically, I think he can kick the state record under rush, which is 55. We found out there. I believe there's no problem he can kick a 55.
For the Foodland High School Sports Show, I'm Jake Ploger.
Nice kick, Jake. Stick to reporting, will you? And congratulations to Bobby. When I think about it, there are a lot of college teams around here that could use his services. For that matter, there might even be a pro team that comes to mind. Best of luck with the career, Bobby. Welcome.
Are you coming back to me, Joe?
Tired of hearing the same old song? Then how about a future that sounds too good to be true? A career in culinary arts. If you're tuning into the rest of your life, the International Culinary Academy can turn up the volume. We'll help you prepare for an exciting, promising future in the fast-growing culinary field. So discover the sweet taste of success. Call the International Culinary Academy today at 1-800-447-8324. That's 1-800-447-8324.
You gotta see Harper Chevrolet.
While most car dealers sell used cars as a sideline, nobody sells more used cars than C. Harper Chevrolet, Geo, and Buick. Whether you want luxury or economy, C. Harper has more than 150 used cars and trucks to choose from. And at C. Harper, they'll stand behind your purchase mile after mile. C. Harper Chevrolet, Geo, and Buick, Route 51, Belle Vernon.
It's there every morning from the day's first light. Out in the country, ooh, up in the heights. It spans the miles across our land. The heart of the city is right in your hand. In the PG, it makes the day for me. You follow your dreams, ooh, I'll follow mine. New fun features. There's one place to look before heading out to see what a day around here's all about. In the PG, it's the heart of the soul. In the PG, it's all you need to know. The PG, it makes the day for me.
Welcome back to Three Rivers Stadium, the AA WPIAL Championship game right now being led by Washington over Burrell 7-0. Coach Art Trageser back with us here at halftime. Coach, anything surprise you in that first half of football?
Well, not really. I think both teams are playing great defense and sort of filling each other out in this first half.
Burrell moved the ball surprisingly well against Washington on their first series. And I say surprisingly well because nobody's moved the ball on Washington this year. Of course, you know, Burrell didn't get to this point without having a good offense. But nobody's really moved the football well on Wash High all season long. First series, Burrell goes from about their 25, I believe it was, all the way down to the 22. But they come up empty. On the next series, got a touchdown pass. The pattern worked out perfectly. The quarterback puts it right there. Receiver can't catch it. How demoralizing is that in a game of this nature when you come out in your first two series and you've got chances to score and you don't take advantage of them?
Well, early in a game, you know, the kids always know that they can come back. Sure, it's bad for Burrell that the pass was dropped, but at least it proved to them that they can move the ball on a real fine Washington defense. And I think that they'll get over the, you know, the disappointment of the drop pass.
Bill DeFabio and I went over the statistics earlier, Bill, and right now, Wash High getting the better of the rushing yardage, and to no one's surprise, Burrell dominating the passing statistics.
Yeah, and Coach Art, how about these two stats? I don't think I've ever heard of this one, even last year or even when he's playing with Avella. Ken Carl, first half, 5 sacks. He was sacked 5 times. Total passing yardage, 1. Is that a plus for the emotionally filled Buccaneer defense?
Well, it has to give him a lot of confidence going into the second half. Because believe me, he's truly a great quarterback, and the one time you miss him and he breaks out of there, he can get the pass off or make the long run on you. So that has to give him a lot of confidence, know that they're at least controlling Carl.
Okay, now let's put you in the locker room. If you're Tom Henderson, what are you telling your kids right now?
Well, we're definitely in the game, and I think they have a good game plan. One thing with a run and shoot, you're never quite sure going into the game how the other team's going to defense you. So I'm sure Tom's in there right now going over their second half adjustments, and I think you know, they have a chance to really come in and move the ball against this Washington team.
Okay, let's change uniforms. You're in Guy Montecalvo shoes right now. What are you telling your kids who are up 7-0?
Well, they're doing a good job of mixing up both man-and-man and zone defenses on Burrell to keep them guessing what they're going to be in. And he's just going to tell his kids, hey, let's keep playing great defense, and they're moving the ball also. They have at any time, one of their stars can break it open for them. So it should be a very interesting second half.
Okay.
In that first half, Burrell not getting Seth Hornak involved in the offense too much.
Well, they were moving him around. He was at wide receiver a little bit, and then they put Gatton, I believe, was covering him. And even Molinaro at times was over there sort of double covering him. So moving him around, I think, is a plus for Burrell, because if Washington's not quite sure where he is, that puts some pressure on them.
On the other side, Gatton with a big run, so he got his juices moving. Take a look at the offenses and the lines. The battle right now in the trenches. Who's winning it?
Well, I'd say it's pretty even. I think Burrell's doing a great job protecting their quarterback, and they can pass, so that's a plus for him. And I think Washington's defensive line and offensive line are doing a pretty decent job too. It's, the emotions in these games, I think sometimes we forget that they're just kids, and they're running sky high right now, and the game is still up for grabs. So I think both teams played an excellent first half.
If Gatton continues to watch Hornak, do you let Hornak become more of a decoy to keep the pursuit away from the rest of the play, or can you afford to take Hornak out of your offense that much?
Well, I think Burrell will keep moving him around. He's not totally out of the offense out there at wide receiver, because if he catches one, he can break it. So that moving him around keeps Washington guessing where he is, and I think it's to their advantage.
One touchdown game, Bill DeFabio, and Washington High School. The only other time they were in a game this close was against Canada.
Cats when they played the baseball game.
A
6-2.
6-2 game.
6-2.
How does that work on Washington High School, Coach? Bill, you followed them this season from the press situation. But do they have a problem at this point with only a 7-0 lead, having blown out so many teams?
No, I don't think it's a question of we feel unbeatable. I think it's a confidence factor that starts with Ken Carl on offense and defense, but with the coaching staff led by Guy Montecalvo. He makes sure these kids don't get too high, especially when they've been to these big leads in the last, 11 weeks, because they've practically blown everybody out. He makes sure they don't get too low. They've had very few low points. 6-2, it wasn't pretty, but it was a victory. And that's all Montecalvo kept saying, hey, you won. You beat a good team. Let's go on to next week's schedule.
What do you look for in the second half, Art?
Well, pretty much the same thing. I think you're going to look to Gatton for Washington and Carl, and then Molinaro coming up with maybe a big play. And then on Burrell's side, I think they're going to keep throwing the ball. They come out, to play to win this game. And I think their quarterback, Horwath and Harnack, I think are going to do a good job too. I look for the big guns to come through for the team that wins this game. Their big guns are going to come through for them in the second half.
A lot of skill out there, a lot of speed. Probably see some more big plays before this one's over.
Oh, definitely.
It's been such a good game, Coach. Maybe you'll join us for overtime.
That would be something if it did.
Okay.
Art Traeger, sir, thanks again for sitting in with us.
Thank you for having me.
Our pleasure. Your halftime score here from Three River Stadium, Washington High School 7, the Pearl Buccaneers nothing. Back with more Prime Sports right after these.
My darling Colette, I meant to stop by last night, but I couldn't. The hill's too steep.
Don't blow it. Get the new ABT brake only on rollerblade skates. It's the easiest way to stop from the company that got it all started. Rollerblade.
Pennsylvania Culinary is accepting appointments this week in our downtown Pittsburgh headquarters. Call now to arrange your personal interview. Discover how starting a professional cooking career can lead you to a new, enriched lifestyle. The sooner you call, the better your opportunity for success. And we'll get you on the job, earning just as soon as possible. Pennsylvania Culinary, known across the country as a starting place for the finest chefs in America, has an opening available for you this week. Call now for immediate attention.
Coming up next, we've got a segment of WPIAL Memories for you with Tom Donahoe and Greg Gattuso, a Seton LaSalle connection there. and also Eric Ravati. Sit back and enjoy this on Prime Sports.
I guess one of the most memorable stories I remember from my high school is that my mother had passed away when I was a sophomore in high school. My father, being an old school Italian, he didn't come out to too many sporting events. And my junior year, first game of the year, we're winning 7-0. Chartiers Valley comes, scores a touchdown. I block the extra point. We win the game 7-6. So I come home all excited. Hey, Dad. He never missed a game after that, which was actually made me very happy. But in our championship game, we were playing Bishop McCourt. I intercepted a pass on the 2-yard line and ran it back 98 yards for a touchdown. And all the mothers later on told me that my father was so excited. He was cheering and screaming. Well, he had false teeth. Well, his teeth can pop it out. He wasn't that old at the time. He was only about 50 years old. But all these mothers just remembered the excitement, and all I can remember is his teeth popping out. So I guess that was one of the fun stories about my high school career, especially a championship game.
But I think there's a lot of memories that sports have given me through the years. And like I said, I can remember a lot of games I still played in high school with some of the guys that I played with. So, you know, one of my best friends was a quarterback, and we had about 4 plays on offense. 3 were running plays, and 1 was a pass play, and I was the recipient of the pass play. So it was fun. It was very enjoyable. It's a time of your life that I don't think anyone ever forgets. That's your high school days, because it's there's a lot of camaraderie that's built, and there's a lot of memories that will never be taken away.
I can remember McKeesport they were probably the most physical team every year. And I remember first play of the game, they called a play. I was playing split end, and I ran the wrong pattern, and it would have been a touchdown, most likely. I would have been wide open. And it was a waggle, and I thought they were waggling the opposite way, so I ran across the field instead of running straight down the field. And I remember the coach goes, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" I go, "I thought it was the other way." That's what stands out in my mind.
How about split end? Jeez. They must have the slowest people ever.
And I used to love just high school football, you know, driving to the game on Friday around 5 o'clock and watching the sun come down and be real crisp out, real nice. And it was just beautiful. I used to think it was just beautiful. We'd go out and walk the field before the game. And that's probably the biggest memory. On Fridays right now, when we have practice around 5:30, I always think about high school football.
In the next century, the average hospital stay will go from days to hours. Complex procedures will be reduced from hours to minutes. This is the next frontier of medicine. The challenge will be to make sure the quality of care isn't reduced on the way. At Allegheny General, we're advancing that frontier by reforming the healing process, so in a new age of healthcare, people can still go home better, not just faster.
Make Mama proud, Junior. There you go. Oh, Junior. What are you doing? Make me proud, baby. Oh, for the love of...
IR Video Production, 6 full-service editing suites available to the public.
Yes!
Including Betacam SP and Avid nonlinear digital systems. Call today for an appointment. IR Video Productions. Use your imagination. We do.
Welcome back to Three Rivers Stadium, where Washington leads Burrell 7-0. This WPIAL championship football game is being brought to you by Waynesburg College, where opportunities begin. Rollerblade and Rupp's Hockey Supply, 2 locations in Pittsburgh, south in Mount Lebanon, and north across from the Ross Park Mall. By Instant Replay Video Productions for all your video needs. And by Powerade, the official sports drink of the WPIAL. Powerade, thirst quencher. Bob LaCicero with Bill DeFabio, and Bobby Z, ace statman, with us here at Three Rivers Stadium. Bill, let's take a look again at those statistics from the first half. You know, it's kind of strange how this game has ebbed and flowed back and forth.
And it's only 7-0.
Yeah.
Yeah. First downs 8, Washington, 6 for Burrell. Passing yards, Wash High won that department 110 to 65. Passing yards, how about that? 1 for Ken Carl in that offense to 56 for Burrell. Total yards, 111 Wash High, 121 for Burrell. But the name of the game, turnovers. Burrell twice turned the ball over to Wash High once to the Buccaneers. Buccaneers on the short end of things on the scoreboard here, 7-0. And we mentioned this stat at halftime with Coach Art from Jeanette. Ken Carl sacked 5 times in the first half.
5.
Five.
Joey Kurdick has had a couple of those. Also playing a very good defensive game, Dave Kibler for Burrell, and Justin Shantz has been in there messing things up too. So the Bucks have played good defense. They've held Washington to 7 points, which is 30 below their game average for the season. And on the flip side, Burrell, averaging 31 points a game, has been shut out by Wash High's defense.
Everybody's been thinking out loud about the same thing we discussed a couple of minutes ago. You know, it's like it's been from one goal line to the other goal line, but it's only 7-0. It's like it should be, what, 28-21 or something. It's only 7-0.
You would think. Burrell with a couple of opportunities early on, didn't take advantage of them, and Washington has taken advantage of the one time they got closest. Teams are out on the field warming up right now, and not too chilly here at Three Rivers this year, which is a blessing, because last year, you know, we sit in front of the windows are open here. Last year, I can remember just sitting here shivering. I think it took me a couple of weeks to heat up again.
Speaking of defense, Bob, how about that stat? The Wash High Little Prexies defense has not allowed a second half point in the last 6 games.
Well, you know, if you're a Burrell fan, that's a stat that you don't want to read.
Yeah, but it means they're due, right? They're due to score.
Well, you can look at it that way. Or you could think to yourself, you know, maybe we need a third half too.
You know, these are the Little Prexies. Can we talk about that other president team in Washington, PA, W&J?
Congratulations to them today.
They're unbelievable. They're going to the semifinals. They'll host the semifinals next week, Division III. This afternoon at Hiller Field. They played the game not on W&J College Field because of bad weather conditions, poor field conditions. They played at the home of the Trinity High School Hillers. At Hiller Field, W&J shutting out Lycoming 48-0. Ouch.
48-0.
And I don't want to talk about that big upset in the Big Ten. You don't want to talk about it, do you?
Northwestern's going to the Rose Bowl.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Ohio State lost to Michigan today. At least if the information we've been given is true.
Well, we'll see what the Buccaneer offense will do. They will get the football here in the second half. They kick to Wash High to open the game. Wash High will return the favor. Now, wait a second. Is Wash High going to receive? Maybe I got my numbers all messed up. Didn't Burrell kick to Wash High to open the game?
No, Burrell. Burrell got the opening kick.
Burrell got the opening, okay.
Best not to think too much.
Okay, I'll jump out the window. No, I won't. It's 4 stories up here.
Well, let me see who you'd land on, though, first of all. No, you'd be okay, because directly beneath us, there's an empty row, provided you extend just a little bit.
Thanks, Bob.
Now, if you flop out directly beneath us, you will hit somebody. There's a guy in a Steelers jacket holding a little kid, so...
But the guy wearing the Penn State jacket will save me, right?
You'll be okay.
All right, Burrell will kick off the Wash High to start the second half. Wash High leads this football game 7-0. Don't forget, coming up, we have AAA football. And then the Quad A game.
The Quad A game, by the way, will be tape delayed. Up next, Bell Vernon and Franklin Regional. Last year, it was the Beaver County schools making the appearance and going, I believe, 2-4-3 here at Three Rivers. And this year, it's the Westmoreland County teams who are visiting Three Rivers Stadium. The deep kickoff comes to the near side to Molinaro. Molinaro with a seam. Molinaro with some daylight up to the 37-yard line. Billy Ream makes the open field stop. Molinaro with a fine return of 30 yards.
And he gives Ken Carl in that Wash High offense good field position at the 39-yard line. 1st and 10 for Wash. Make that the 38. Ken Carl sacked 5 times in the first half by the Burrell Buccaneers defense. That defense probably figuring out, hey, we can stop this guy.
Little Prexies there, you see they're averaging 37 points a game. Starting out 1st and 10. 2-back set. Gatton sweeping to the far side. Kurdick misses him from behind. Fumble! It's loose. Burrell players all around it.
Buccaneers have it, Bob. No? Let's see. Wash High's pointing they have it. We'll see what the refs say.
There had to have been $5 with a shot at that football. And Washington's going to keep it. I don't know if it eventually wound up out of bounds or somebody from Washington.
Okay, Gatton has the football here. He's going to lose it. Okay. Boom. Okay.
DeVore caused the fumble.
There's 1, 2, 3 Buccaneers. Washai had a chance.
Still loose.
Still loose.
Coach Henderson has got to be kicking himself.
Ooh.
There was a chance for a giant momentum switcher there. Burrell players all over that football, unable to come up with it. The whole thing works out for no gain. Gatton, big hole, over the 50. First down. Carpenter on the tackle. Gatton picks up 13 yards to the 49.
I'll say it again. I said it in the first half one time. I could have went through that hole. It was so big, Bob. Watch this.
All right, Bill.
There's a lot of room to run. Run the daylight, as Vince Lombardi would say. And look at the daylight. Oh!
That was Hornak on the stop. I'm sorry. He's 25, and I said 52. Maybe I need to seek help.
Washai inside the 50. 1st and 10. Gatton, 8 rushes, 68 yards, no TDs.
8.5 a carry. Woods, Eugene. You can be tough if you're a football player and your name is Eugene. So he's tough. He gets up the middle and picks up 3 or 4.
He's been a consistent player. 61 rushes, 516 yards on the year. He averages 8.5 a carry.
8.5.
Second down, 7. Washai at the Buccaneers' 46-yard line.
I formation with a little Praxius. Gatton, far side, cuts it up over the 40. Hornak chases. Now there's a matchup right there. Hornak runs Gatton down at the 24-yard line, and Gatton picks up 23. And there's a duel we've been waiting to see all game long.
Looked like it was going to be about a 5-yard carry, but, you know, he just said, hey, I don't want you guys to stop me here, and he just keeps going. And he's going to get stuffed here after about gaining 19 yards.
One-on-one, Gatton versus Hornak. Hornak saves the touchdown. Gatton picks up big yardage. The ball will be placed at the 23-yard line. 7-zip, Washai with the lead, the ball, and a drive going. 2 back set this time. Handoff comes to the 20-yard line. Eric Hagan on the carry. He picks up 3.
Hagan with some help from Jason Carpenter. Here's the replay. Nice gain, about 4 yards there until Hagan makes the stop for the Buccaneers. Actually picked up 3, 2nd down and 7 now for Washai.
This WPIAL championship football game is being brought to you in part by the International Culinary Academy, where you earn a specialized associate's degree in as little as 18 months. I formation on 2nd down. Carl gives up the middle to Hagan, and Hagan has 4 more to the 16. Also being brought to you by Computer Tech. Prepare for your career in the computer industry at Computer Tech, where you earn a specialized associate degree in just 18 months.
Well, if you're the Buccaneer defense, you want to stop Washai. You don't want to give them the lead. You don't want to give them that touchdown to open the second half here. You want to stop them right here. And if you're Washai offense, you only need, you know, it only sounds, you know, like 3 yards, but when you have Gatton and Eugene in the backfield, you know Carl